Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's definitely been a while since I've done any type of horror review. I did start my channel last year. I want to say I did one review on Malignant, but I'm going to try to update this page a lot more because I have been watching a lot of horror movies throughout the year. And now we're in 2024 and I definitely want to start making more reviews, more videos, kind of share what my picks are. So in this video, I'm going to show you my picks for 2024. Again, these could change, but these are on my radar to watch list. So here we go. All right, number 7, I have Mickey's Mousetrap. Now, this film seems pretty damn ridiculous. Okay, like I'm gonna be honest, this is not gonna be a good movie. Let's just say that right out of the bat. It's not gonna be a good movie. I did watch Blood and Honey, and I have to say I did not enjoy. I well, okay, I thought it was more of a comedy. So let's take that back a little bit. So the design for Winnie the Pooh was really bad. Like it just looked so cheap. It obviously it was a low production budget for that, but it just looked so bad. The characters were horrible, the acting was terrible, the story was actually kind of stupid. But there are people that do enjoy a good parody of a Disney film. Now, with that being said, now that Disney has lost their rights to Mickey Mouse, if you want to read more about that, feel free to look that up so it can kind of give you some context to what I'm talking about. But now we have Mickey's Mousetrap. I'm guessing it's going to be, you guessed it, a man in a Mickey suit who is a serial killer. Now, that knife in the photo looks really stupid. It looks like a kitchen knife that I can find in my drawer downstairs. So, just FYI, even though it is very stupid, I am still going to be looking forward to all of the parodies. Hopefully, they make some stabs at Disney because I think it'd be really funny if they did. It would be a missed opportunity if they didn't make fun of Mickey Mouse in some way, shape, or form. And again, there are people who do like this style of horror movie. I'm not usually one to, dabble into these types of movies, but it worked a little bit for Blood and Honey, so maybe it'll work for Mickey Mouse. I don't know, but we'll see how this turns out. I definitely will not spend money to watch this, but if they put it on Peacock, if they put it on Max, sure, why not? I will watch it then. All right, my number 6 pick is going to be Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Now, I have to say, like, as a fan of the video game, Five Nights at Freddy's to me, it was good, but at the same time, it lacked a lot of character. Now, what I mean by that is that it lacked a lot of things a lot of missed opportunities. I feel like this movie would have thrived if it was rated R. We were missing the blood, we were missing the gore. It almost made it seem like it was a little too PG for me as a horror fan, but I understand why they did it the way they did because we do have a lot of kids that are fans of Five Nights at Freddy's, so it makes sense to go in that direction. But in all honesty, I feel like in some way it needed a little bit more. Now, the animatronics were great. Like the design, 10 out of 10 for that because they looked amazing. Josh Hutcherson, 10 out of 10. He was absolutely amazing in this film. I hadn't seen him since maybe like The Hunger Games was probably the last movie I remember him in. I'm sure he's been in some other movies since then, but I really don't remember, so that's the one I usually associate him with, but he was very good in this movie. I wasn't a fan of the cop. I thought the cop was kind of stupid, even though I do know that she is a big central part of the video game. Now, I feel like they have an opportunity to step up for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I feel like it still won't be rated R, even though I feel like it needs to be rated R to be a very effective horror film. Regardless of all of that, it was still good in my opinion. I still love the story. I love the idea of animatronics. I will say that I was more entertained by Willy's Wonderland. If you guys don't know what that is, it's with Nicolas Cage. Same kind of premise. The only difference is the robots are possessed by some demons and it's a little crazy. It's actually really funny just because Nicolas Cage does not talk throughout that film. But I feel like I had a lot of fun with that film, even though it wasn't the best film, but it had its funny moments. Whereas this one, as it's supposed to be a serious story, but at the same time, the rating and the way that they told the story in this film kind of made it seem like it wasn't as gruesome as it normally should have been. Obviously, we're talking about, and this is a big spoiler alert, by the way. If you haven't seen this movie yet, which I'm pretty sure you have because it is everywhere now at this point, but spoiler alert, I was expecting more. I feel like when they revealed that, the kids were put into these suits after they were murdered, and this man was kidnapping them, and we were getting into this really deep storyline. It just didn't land the way it was supposed to. Like I feel like anything like that, especially like in real life situations like that, like if because I'm pretty sure stuff like this has happened. Let's face it, we live in a true crime world. It would be a lot more serious than what it was, but it just didn't have the emotional impact I thought it would. It just I I don't know. Maybe we're just lacking more background on the kids. I feel like if maybe we got some more context, maybe they'll add this in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I'm not even entirely sure, but if they do Five Nights at Freddy's 2, I don't know which game they're going to take it from. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how they add new characters, but I feel like we can add more depth to the kids because I feel like the central part of Five Nights at Freddy's is the kids and also spending the night in, this arcade. Now, did I think that Josh Hutcherson needed to spend more time in the arcade? Absolutely. I think we needed maybe a couple more nights for things to amp up in the arcade. Obviously, we can't make a movie that's running, 2, 3 hours, but I just feel like there's so many improvements they could have made for this movie. I have a lot to say about it as well. Obviously, I might do another video on this, but in the lore sense, love Matthew Lillard. I just have to say, I am a big fan of Matthew Lillard. I am so happy that they put him in this. And he played a great character. Like, he was great. And I'm sure we're going to get more of him in the second film. Again, spoiler alert for that if you haven't seen it. But I can't wait to see him. Him and Josh Hutcherson, 10 out of 10. Do I think they can improve on, telling the kids stories, maybe showing them getting kidnapped, going back in time and showing the arcade? Absolutely. I think that would land perfectly. But I am looking forward to Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And if you are like me, I am praying and hoping as a side comment that they will make this a maze at Halloween Horror Nights next year. But we'll see about that. We'll see. All right. Next movie I'm going to talk about is Lisa Frankenstein. Now, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I was so excited, you guys. Like, I was like, wow, this is different. Like, as a big fan of just Frankenstein in general and Bride of Frankenstein, this one kind of hit differently for me. It felt like I was watching like an 80s slash teen version modern day Frankenstein, for this generation. Obviously, it's not going to be, a serious movie. I feel like it's going to be super cheesy. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that movie Warm Bodies, but it's kind of giving me like that vibe a little bit. But it looks super fun. Also, Cole Sprouse is in it and Catherine Newton, so I can't wait to kind of see them together. I feel like I haven't seen Cole Sprouse in anything recently, so I think he'll make a good Frankenstein. I really think that this movie's going to work out. It does come out on Valentine's Day, I believe, so I think this is going to be a hit. This is going to be the one movie I am going to go see on Valentine's Day in the theater. I have to go see it. I just hope it lives up to the hype. I hope it lives up to Frankenstein's legacy. Because again, I do love the classic monsters. I do love Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Creature, things like that. So hopefully this will be a good time, and hopefully I will leave the theater looking more like her. All right, my next pick is going to be the Crow remake. Now, I'm not going to really categorize this in a horror movie section per se, but when I first heard about this being announced, I was a little skeptical because I was afraid that whoever they casted was going to have to, well, let's put it this way. They have some big shoes to fill, okay? Because I love the original Crow. Like, I love it. I love it so much. In my mind, there's no other perfect Eric Draven for me. So for me to hear that they were going to remake this, my first thought was, please don't mess this up. Just please do not mess up. We get so many remakes nowadays, and some remakes are good and some remakes are not so good. When I heard that Bill Skarsgård was going to be playing him, I was kind of a little relieved because I know his acting ability is great. I loved him in It. Wasn't a fan of It Part 2, the remake. But I am a fan of his acting. I think he's a very talented person. That whole family of Skarsgårds is very talented. Bill Skarsgård to me has this very unique persona. He has a very unique acting style that he brings to the camera, and he's very, very good at playing like the sassy role. So I kind of can't wait to see him in this. Um, Obviously, like, I'm a big fan of Brandon Lee as well. So again, big shoes to fill here, but hopefully he'll do it justice. Um, and of course, this is Brandon Lee back when he did The Crow. Obviously, if you've never seen The Crow, definitely watch the original before you go watch the remake because the original is a timeless classic. The makeup, the story, the music, oh my god. The Nine Inch Nails music, The Cure, oh my god, one of the best albums out there. So again, I am looking forward to this movie and hopefully Bill Skarsgård does this justice. There is no official timeline on when it's going to be released, but I'm assuming it's either in production now or it's being filmed, but we'll see. And of course, Bill Skarsgård is Pennywise, as I mentioned, so you kind of see the deranged look in his eyes. Maybe he'll make a good Eric Draven. We'll see. All right. Now, my number 3 pick is called Witchboard. Now, Witchboard is a remake of an old movie. Now, if you watch the trailer for this, it looks absolutely batshit crazy. Okay, it looks like a wild ride. Jamie Campbell Bower is going to be starring in this, which I didn't even know he was going to be starring in this until I saw the trailer, and I was just head over heels right away. I know this is probably going to be a solid movie, most likely. Anything Jamie Campbell Bower comes out in is usually a solid movie. I first discovered him in Sweeney Todd, and he was amazing. This man could sing, this man could act, and of course, if you don't know who Jamie Campbell Bower is, well, you're in luck because he was in Stranger Things. Also, a great role. He is very good at playing the villain, he's good at playing a romantic lead, and now he's going to be playing, you know, a witchcraft character, so we'll see how he does. And of course, Jamie Campbell Bower is also known for Daddy Vecna, okay? So I think that this is going to be a 10 out of 10 flick. I look forward to seeing what it's going to be like when more trailers drop and then when it actually does come out. All right, my number 2 pick is going to be Imaginary. Now, I am a fan of Blumhouse, but with Blumhouse, there are things that are hit and miss. I enjoyed Megan. I thought Megan was funny, but it was different, and that was the reason why I liked it. Five Nights at Freddy's just came out, was a big hit, and now we're finally getting a story about a ghost living in a doll, most likely, or who knows, a possessed doll. Don't know what it's going to be about, but this image alone tells me that it's going to be about a child and a toy, and it's going to be really fun, and I hope to God that they do not mess this up because this is a great concept. The photo is great. Now, hopefully, I feel like they should use a real stuffed teddy bear, but something tells me it's going to be AI. It's going to be an AI generated bear, or it's just going to look weird. So hopefully they figure that out before they start filming if they haven't already. But I am praying that this is going to be good because I can't wait to hear a story like this because I feel like it's been a while since we've gotten the typical imaginary friend story. But yeah, cannot wait for this. All right, obviously my number 1 pick is going to be Terrifier. Terrifier is one of these movies that I have a very, very soft spot for. Damien Leone's writing on this, so good. It is such a good, gory, fun movie. Okay, like, yeah, it's disgusting, but it's got blood, and it goes there, and they're not afraid to push the boundary. I know there was a scene in Terrifier 2 that grossed me out, and nothing grosses me out, okay? I've seen plenty of blood, I've seen plenty of gore. There is one scene in Terrifier 2 with that little girl that just grosses me out, and ugh, it was so disgusting, but it was so great at the same time. But guys, I cannot wait to see A Christmas Terrifier. Art the Clown, amazing. Like, props to this actor. He is a super nice guy in real life. Again, I cannot wait for Terrifier to come out. I feel like this is going to be a knockout movie for Christmas, especially for horror fans who kind of want to see more horror movies coming out during Christmas. I know we did get Krampus one year, and that was a knockout movie. I love that movie. It is forever on my favorite list, but now we're going to get a Terrifier centered around Christmas. I can't wait to see what gore they come up with. I can't wait to see what Art the Clown is going to be up to, and I can't wait for that little girl to return because I feel like those two are going to cause trouble. And of course, I have to end this video on an honorable mention. Now, these are not official photos, just so you know. Beetlejuice 2 is going to be releasing. Now, I'm a little scared about this, guys. Like, I love Beetlejuice. I'm sure a lot of people love Beetlejuice. It has a soft place in my heart. I am a Tim Burton fan. Love Jenna Ortega Wednesday. Love Michael Keaton. Love Winona Ryder. It's just a 10 out of 10 movie. It's a classic. But I feel like too much time has gone by since, you know, the first Beetlejuice came out and all the hype started. And of course, there's still fans of Beetlejuice in modern day. How they're going to do this remake, or not even a remake, I guess, let's call it a sequel or prequel. I don't know where they're going with it, but the sequel to Beetlejuice, I don't know, guys. Michael Keaton is getting a little old. I don't know if he has it in him to bring back that crazy character. Jenna Ortega is probably going to be really great. Winona Ryder is going to be great. I wouldn't get Alec Baldwin back for this, but somehow I have a feeling they're going to bring him back for this. Gina Davis, so many classic characters, Um, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. If you have any comments about this Beetlejuice movie, go ahead and comment down below and I'll engage with you because I have a lot to say about Beetlejuice too. Personally, I don't think it's going to do well, but then again, Tim Burton does come out with great movies. He's a good writer. So who knows? Maybe I'll be shocked. Maybe I'll be surprised. But all right, this is my list for 2024. These are pretty much my most anticipated films. Um, I did hear Night Swim came out, heard it wasn't good. Then again, it's a James Wan film, so I'm probably just going to wait for that to come out on HBO before I see that, but if I end up watching it, maybe I'll do a review. Thank you guys for watching my video. Just make sure you subscribe below. I am going to be starting a few other channels soon, but I definitely want to keep doing horror reviews. If you have anything else to say about any of my picks, go ahead and comment. I will definitely answer your comments. Thanks.